Hi, in this video I will tell you everything you need to know about sponsorships and brand deals, like when to get a sponsorship, how to reach brands, how to make an offer, how to calculate the price you need to give, contracts, and how this whole process works. I will cover everything and I will even give you a formula for how much money you can charge. Now, sponsorships are a big question mark for many creators, especially at the beginning. There is not much information about this out there and you don't know which way to go. If a brand comes to you, how much should you ask? Are you asking too much or too little? What if they reject you? I went through the exact same path, lived and experienced it all, felt the same things that you did, and in this video I will teach you everything that you need to know. I got you. What is a sponsorship? It's actually quite simple. There is a brand that pays you money so you promote their product or service. This is what we call a brand deal or a sponsorship, and that can be for a single video or you can do a contract for multiple videos. But the important thing here is to mention is that the brand pays you for being you. If it weren't for that, they could just, simply ask for a videographer to do a, photo shoot or videography of the product and do a paid, ad of that. No, they don't want that. They pay content creators to market their products because these content creators have a following, and these followers, these people trust that content creator's word. So that has a value, and that's more valuable than a paid ad. That's why brands pay creators, and they want you to do that ad. They want you to promote that product. They want you to promote their brand. Don't forget that. Now, there are three different types of sponsorship. First, we have dedicated videos. In other words, the whole video that you will make will be an advertisement for that brand. For example, let's say that the iPhone 16 came out and Apple came to you and they wanted to do a phone review. So you do an iPhone 16 review and the whole video will be about iPhone 16. So the whole video will be about iPhone and Apple for that brand, and you will get paid for making this video. That was the first one. Secondly, there are integrations within the video. In this type, you make a video that you would normally make, and in that video, you talk about a brand for 60 seconds, for 90 seconds or so. And again, the brand pays you money for doing this. Like an advertisement within a video, we can say. And for example, let's say that I made a video about how I make my videos, and I show the entire process, like from ideation to scripting to shooting, thumbnails and editing. And in the editing section, for example, I put music in the video. And when I'm doing that, I can say, and to find my music, I use the platform X, and I can talk about that platform for a minute or so. So this is an in-ad integration. Like I made my video, and in the moment that made the perfect sense, I talked about that brand, and then I continued, talking about other stuff in the video. Of course, as I gave in this example, it is better for the brand and the topic that you're talking about makes sense. Like I talked about like my making videos, and while making videos, I put music in my videos, so that's why I talked about that music platform, for example. And it wouldn't make sense for me like to talk about video editing and then do a lipstick ad, for example. I mean, they wouldn't give ad on a video like that, but you get the point. And this is the second method. The third type is advertising in exchange for the product. Here, you do not get a certain amount of money for making a video. Instead, the brand sends you a product and you do a review. They come to you, they tell you like, no, we can send you, we have this product, we can send you and you can review it. And you do an ad like that and you get the product. And this was the third method. But I mean, it is possible to do both. Like you can get both paid and get a product. I mean, I've done it before. Like I was working with a brand and I had a fixed price, like we had agreed on a price, but then they said like, we have these products, we can send you some and you can review them in your video. That's cool. This is also an option. When can I get sponsored? Now, there is not an exact time that you start getting sponsorships. If you're in a niche content, you might start getting sponsorships pretty early, like even if you don't have many followers. But generally, after 10,000 followers on any platform, you start getting messages, emails from brands. But again, on this channel, I have done sponsorship and I have like 4,000 subscribers. So there is not a definite thing. You might see a brand reaching out to you and wanting to work with you, even if you don't have many followers. That is possible. But naturally, when you start getting more and more views, more and more subscribers, you will start also getting more and more messages from brands. Yes, after a certain amount of followers, you start getting mails from brands that want to work with you. So add an email address to your social media profiles, like biographies, descriptions, and etc. Like put an email address there so like the brands can reach to you. However, you can reach out to brands as well. You use a product or a brand and you're gonna make a video about it. For example, let's say that I'm gonna make a video about CapCut, like about video editing and how we can use it. Now, before I make that video, I can reach out to CapCut and say like, here I am, I'm here, if you want to work with me, like I can make a video like this, here's my channel, here's my audience, like here's my content, like these are the videos that I make, so like my audience is, you know, related, they want to watch that kind of stuff, and you know, it can be beneficial for both parties. Like I can make a video for you, show your product, and work together, and I can try my luck like that. Like maybe they work with me, maybe they don't, but at least I tried. Only this way I can, you know, go to brands and tell them like, I'm here, you know, if you want to work with me. Like I can put myself in front of them instead of just waiting them to, you know, find me. But there is a difference between a brand reaching out to you and you reaching out to that brand. If a brand comes to you, they want to work with you. That's why you have the advantage here, and you can be a bit more comfortable about the agreement and when giving a price. Because as I said, the brand already wants to work with you. Like they found you, they contact you, and they want to work with you. However, when you reach a brand yourself, like they might not even know you, like they might not even your existence, and they just saw you at the moment, and they're gonna decide at that moment if they should work with you or not. Like they didn't have the idea of like wanting to work with someone, or specifically you. So like what you say and the price that you give, it's quite important, because they might just give up and like not work with you. In other words, you have the advantage in one case and you have to be more careful in the other. Let's talk about pricing a little. This is where most people have questions like, how much should I ask? Am I charging too little or too much? First of all, let me say this. I can't tell you a specific price. Like I can't tell you you're gonna charge this much, because it's gonna change depending on the person, like the language you create content, your niche, how well known you are in your niche, your engagement rate, your subscribers, your views, all these stuff matter. However, let me give you a few rates so like you can have an idea. First, let's look at the integration prices for YouTube. You can get a CPM of $30 to $70 for sponsorships. Like, and the CPM is like how much you can charge for 1,000 views basically. So if your video gets 10,000 views in the first 7 days of publishing, for example, you can charge somewhere between $300 to $700 for an integration. 300 seems like the minimum that you should charge, and the 700 is like the maximum. I mean, of course you can charge more, but like it's a high-end price. Like if the brand wants you specifically, if they reached out to you, like then you can, you know, go for this price. Or if you have worked with the brand and they came again and they specifically want to work with you again, so like they're happy with you, then you can, you know, ask higher prices. And the $500 is like in the middle. It's a safe bet. It's neither too high nor too low, but we have to like examine the situation, like the brand, how it's going, like, and we can give a price depending on the situation. Like personally, I have asked more than these rates. I made brand deals that I charged more than these rates. So like it also depends on like how much you value yourself and how much work you're gonna put into that, like how many hours you're gonna spend and how much you want in return of that. Then there are dedicated videos. So the videos that we make just for that brand, a video that specifically, that on the whole video we talk about that brand. For example, it could be a product review, or like the CapCut example that I gave you. Of course, the price is higher in these videos because like the whole video is for that brand, and we can easily ask 2 to 3 or even 4 times the price that we asked for an integration. So for example, if someone asks $500 for an integration, he can ask $1,000 or even $1,500 for a dedicated video, or even more. Of course, I'm talking about dedicated YouTube videos. There is also the short form content, for example, Instagram Reels or TikTok. So I made such a table for short form content, like for TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts, we can say. Like these are pretty much the prices that you can charge. Of course, again, it's gonna depend on the situation, it's gonna depend on the brand, and it's gonna depend on how much you value yourself. You can ask more, you can ask less if you want to, but you can take a screenshot of this table, and you know, that's pretty much how much you can ask if you have no idea of how much you can ask. At the end of the day, there is no specific price that you can charge. Again, it's gonna depend on the brand, on you, on how much you value yourself. Even the time of the year matters, because at the end of the year, brands usually pay more, like so they can finalize their budget, you know. And sometimes even your subscriber count and your views are the same. Some brand might give you X dollars and other brand might give you 3 times that, and they might have no problem with that. And all these prices are for the video, by the way, just for making the video. You will see in the later stages that we have to sign contract, and in that contract there are content rights, and depending on how much content right the brand asks, we can charge, you know, depending on how much they ask. Before continuing the contract section though, I would like to talk about my media kit template. I put the link in the description, you know, if you want to check it out. This media kit is a ready-made email template that I send to brands when I want to reach out to them, or when they come to me and ask, you know, for my channel stats. Plus there is a list of the prices that I charge for each partnership like integration, dedicated video, Instagram, everything. There's a description for every ad type, and there is a space that you can put your previous works like portfolio. I've been using this for a long time, so I'll have the link in the description if you want to check it out. Finally, when you reach an agreement, a contract is signed between the brand and the content creator, and everything is written in that contract. What will be produced, what kind of videos will be produced, is it going to be dedicated videos, is it going to be integrations, is it going to be short form content, then the agreed price is written. If there is time, if there is a deadline, there is a date when the content should be published at the latest, and the content rights, which this is what I want to talk about. There are 3 areas we need to pay attention. First, the non-compete agreement. In other words, the non-compete agreement means that you can work with other brands. Like, they will specify these brands, and if they haven't, tell them to specify these brands, and you can work with this brand for a period of time. That's also written. So for example, Apple might come to me and say like, we want to work with you, here's the contract, and in that contract there can be a non-compete agreement, for example, and say you can work with Samsung for 3 months, for example, or 1 month. Generally, we don't ask extra money for 1 month of non-compete. But if the brand asks for more than that, for example, you can work with each brand for 3 months or for 6 months, then we ask extra money for each month. So for example, if we agreed for $500 and they have a non-compete for 3 months, then we're gonna ask $500 again for the second month and $500 again for the third month. For every month we ask $500 because they are basically keeping us from working with other brands. Like, I've done the brand deal for you 1 month, and the second month I'm not doing anything, but you are keeping me from working with other brands, so like, you have to pay for that. That's the idea. How long will the brand have the content rights, and what can they do with the content? If they will share it organically on their own social media accounts, there will be no extra payment for a period of 1 to 3 months. However, if they want to share your content organically for more than 3 months, or let's say 6 months for example, then you can ask for extra money, or you can tell them like to change the contract and make it 3 months. Secondly, there are paid ads. The brand can take your content and use it in paid ads. If there is such a thing in the contract, then you can ask 10 to 20% for each month that the ads, the campaigns are running. For example, in a $500 deal, extra $50 to $100 can be asked for each month that they will run ads. So if we charge like $100 for each month and they run ads for 3 months, we can ask an extra $300, on top of the $500. Thirdly, perpetual or in perpetuity rights, and this basically means unlimited rights, and the brands can ask you, they can put that in the contract, and if you sign that contract, basically they have rights for that content forever, and they can do anything they want with it. Basically, they can share the content on their own social media platforms, or they can run paid ads even after years you sharing that video. I don't recommend this. If there's something like that in the contract, I would advise you to ask the brand to change it and specify a time period. Let's say 6 months, 12 months. And again, you're gonna ask for that extra money, but don't give rights forever. I've done that mistake on a few contracts. I mean, I don't think there will be a problem. Like, I'm pretty happy with the videos that I made, but again, no, it's not a good thing. Tell them to specify a time period. Or even if you're gonna do that, at least charge a lot of money because you're gonna give rights forever. I've heard creators telling that they're gonna give rights forever. They are gonna charge at least 5 figures. So like, the deal starts from $10,000 minimum, and all these things that I mentioned affect the price. After the contract is signed, we move on to the content creation phase. At this point, you need to send the scenario or like the bullet points, the talking points to the brand before you start making the video, so like they can see what you're gonna talk about, and they might be cool with that, or they might ask changes. Like, they might say you like, don't mention this, don't talk about this, or like, don't forget to talk about this, like you haven't mentioned this feature of the product, or blah blah, like talk about this too. And once they are okay with the script, then you can go and create the video. And when you create the video, you don't upload it immediately. Again, you send the video to the brand so like they can see it and they can be cool with it. They can say, okay, good to go. Or they might ask revisions, like they can say like, on this part, put this on the screen, or don't put this on the screen and show the product, or don't make it black and white, use these colors, etc. Like, they can ask revisions. Then you do the changes, you do the revisions, and send the video back to the brand so like they can see it again. And when they're cool with it, when they say like good to go, then you can upload the video. And once you upload the video, then you can get paid. And getting paid, like, that's gonna depend on how you get paid. Like, you can get paid with Stripe, you can send invoices with PayPal. That's on you. I don't talk about that. Now, I've said it many times already, but don't work with every brand just because they pay you. Work with brands that provide value to you and to your audience and that you trust. Don't work with bad brands and reduce your quality and reputation. I hope this video helped all my fellow creators and answered your questions that you had about sponsorships and brand deals. If you still have questions, let me know in the comments and I'll try to answer as much as I can. And if you're interested in content creation, you can subscribe for more videos like this.